Hey my exiles, Zaior here bringing you a new video of a build I've been using since around level 88 and honestly for farming it's spectacular. I've only died once, no lie, and that was because I'm a noob at farming. I've reached level 92, already ready for 93, and with our Stormwave and Tempest Flurry we will be destroying every enemy in our path. In this video we will see how it works, the skills, the gems, the skill tree, the gear and more. Ready to take your builds to the next level? Let's get into the video. Okay my monks, we are going to explain step by step in a simple way how this build works. We will start by using Hollow Palm, so we will scale our energy shield and evasion, not just to survive, but to deal more damage thanks to this new node. For this build, the most important damage resources will be crit, attack speed and lightning damage or elemental, which also works. I will show you more details about the gems, tree and gear later. So in this section, I will show you the most important skills and how we should play them for a more optimized gameplay so you can pass high levels without problems. In the background you will see gameplay for a tier 15 map. We will start by talking about Stormwave. Stormwave is a melee lightning and AoE skill. It will be one of our main damage skills. With this skill we can clear maps easily without risking getting close to enemies, so it's a safe way to clear and gain experience. It can also work for bosses, but in this case we will use our next skill, which is Tempest Flurry. This skill is more for close combat, although it can also be used for farming if you want, in certain situations, like killing an elite with a lot of life or very resistant. That's why we will also use Tempest Bell, which is a skill that deals a lot of single target damage. Plus Tempest Flurry has a huge attack speed, so bosses will melt and won't be a problem when we are farming. Now we will talk about these two skills, Hand of Chayula and Charge Staff. I just want you to pay attention in this part to how they work together. I want to explain how we will generate those charges so Charge Staff can work. First we have Hand of Chayula, which we will equip with Sniper Mark. Sniper Mark leaves a mark on enemies that on the next critical hit will give us a frenzy charge. So with this we have our first charge generator, although something else is still missing. At this moment, the resonance node from our skill tree comes into play, which converts frenzy charge into power charge, and charge staff consumes power charge to be used. So my monks, we have the charge generator and the converter, so we are guaranteed to have enough charge to use charge staff. Later we will go into more detail about support gems, the tree and gear. Remember, the planner is in the description and comments so you can save into your favorites and follow it. Okay. Let's talk about skills and their support gems. We start with Elemental Expression. This will be a skill we get when we complete the Ascendancy. And when we reach level 90, we can equip a 5th gem. We start with Lightning Mastery. It gives +1 to lightning skills, which is the focus of this build. So when Elemental Expression triggers Arcane Bolts, they will be stronger. Efficiency 2, since these triggered skills cost mana and are quite recurrent, so this gem helps us manage resources better. Retreat to increase projectile damage from this skill, Nova Projectiles to shoot these projectiles in more directions and also gain 4 extra ones, very useful, and Blind, to blind our enemies. You will see I use Blind on many skills because in the skill tree we will have points that increase damage and crit to blinded enemy, that's why. Next is Crackling Palm, which we get thanks to Thunder Fist. If you don't have them in the planner, I will leave some gloves you can use while you farm them. Here we use Main to reduce enemy movement speed. Cooling Strike will make any enemy hit by the support skill die instantly if under 10% life. Blind 2 for what I mentioned before, and Shock to increase the chance to shock all enemies hit by this skill. This skill is more utility than damage, hence these support gems. Next, Stormwave. Branching Fissures 2 will make additional waves split instead of just going in a straight line. This increases pack clear a lot because you can cover more screen and hit enemies not directly in front of you. In short, Stormwave plus Branching Fissures equal more range, more area, easier pack clearing. Lightning Attunement for more lightning damage, Magnified Area 1 for more skill effect and perfect for mapping. Pinpoint Critical to increase crit chance since this build relies on frequent crits, and Mobility to not lose movement speed while casting the skill. In summary, mobility support equal DPS on the move, plus much less risk of getting hit hard. Tempest Flurry with rapid attacks, gem to increase attack speed, so more hits and more DPS, and it also increases the number of charge staff thrown. Pinpoint critical and inevitable critical for more consistent crits, 2 more DPS. Lightning Attunement plus Elemental Armament for more lightning and elemental damage, which equals more lightning damage in this case. Let's go with charge stuff. And I start with Innervate, which gives us a 25% more lightning damage when we kill a shock enemy. Prolonged Duration for longer charges, Perpetual Charge for a chance to not lose charge when consuming them, very useful for this build, and Elemental Armament for extra damage in this skill. Hand of Shayula with Sniper Mark to gain charge, as I explained before, plus Charge Profusion 2, which increases the chance to gain charge by 30% and a 50% chance to gain an additional random one. Voltaic Mark makes your lightning hits against that target deal more damage, perfect against through enemies like bosses or elites. Blind 2 to blind enemies. And the next one is Tempest Bell with Overabundance 2 to gain an extra bell. Rage 3 for a faster and stronger bell. Durability to increase the number of hits and close combat since the bell usually does close damage. This gem is perfect for that. Herald of Thunder will be a main buff for this build. Mandatory. We will equip it with Elemental Focus to increase its damage, Concentrated Area to increase damage by 30%, Lightning Attunement for another 25% lightning damage, Lightning Mastery for +1 to the skill, and Deadly Herald for 30% more damage. Herald of Ash will be very useful for clearing and causing Ignite, which benefits a 3-node called Echoing Flames that give 30% more damage to ignite enemies. We will use it with Magnified Area to increase AoE, and if you have extra Spirit, Clarity to have better mana sustain. Wind Dancer will be key for survival, and we will equip with Pin, Blind, and Main. Finally, Ghost Dance, which will help recharge Energy Shield in battle. To speed up its effect, we will use Compressed Duration and Cannibalism 2. If you don't have enough Spirit, you can use one. Cannibalism 1. Let's see how we will have infinite or almost infinite mana in this build. For this, we will need the Walker of the Wilds node, which converts part of the damage into mana. So every time we deal damage, it restores mana, and we will be dealing damage most of the time, making it almost infinite resource. For this, we will need a ring with this affix to convert that part into mana, so we don't have to worry about resources. Very useful. We continue with the rest of the nodes and points I think are the most important. We start with the Hollow Palm technique. By now most of you know how it works, so this node will be our main ally in battles. We continue with all of these nodes here, which mainly give us a lot of damage to a skill like Stormwave and Tempest Flurry. For example, Endless Circuit increases shock chance on enemies, and Wildstorm increases max damage. The smaller nodes increase lightning damage. Another important and mandatory node is Resonance. It transforms Frenzy Charge into Power Charge, explained early in the video. This way we can activate charge stuff. Echoing Thunder and Echoing Flames increase damage to shock and ignite enemies, and they are basically in that state all the time, so it's a good DPS boost, and a reliable one. These points here for more crit chance are also nice, especially if your gear is a bit lower. And we continue down here with Subterfuge Mask to increase evasion significantly, helping a lot to survive maps as we evade most hits. Agile Succession for more attack speed and 30% more evasion if we recently hit an enemy, very useful. Blind Strikes increases our damage and also has a chance to blind enemies. And here is the explanation why we need to consistently blind enemies and why we use so many support gems for it. These nodes increase crit to blinded enemies and that's a huge boost, so they are key DPS nodes. Down here, more crit hit chance and crit damage, plus some attribute points to help place more gems, like Elemental Armament 2. Bestial Skin seems useless for DPS, but it still increases evasion, important for survival. As I said before, it helps dodge most hits. Finally, Coming Calamity increases lightning damage when using Herald of Thunder. We start by taking 2 points in I Am the Thunder, which creates shock ground and shock enemies, and 10% more lightning damage. Perfect points for this build. Next, Lead Me Through Grace to gain Spirit while having Energy Shield and Evasion on our gear, letting us maintain buffs. Sunder My Enemies to break enemy elemental resistances with our crits. This build is crit based, so it helps a lot to increase DPS. Finally, Elemental Expression to add extra DPS to the build. Its projectiles are very constant since we will have a lot of crit chance. The gear, like in the previous build, is a mix of Evasion and Energy Shield, plus other resistance and DPS stats. We start with the Helm, lots of energy shield and evasion for defense and to benefit from hollow palm technique. You can look for a similar hem with cheaper lower affixes if the price is an issue. It will work the same way, but obviously with lower DPS and survival. Still guaranteed tier 15 even if a bit more expensive. Some crit also helps, although you can swap this affix for resistance or attribute and it will be cheaper with minimal impact. The chest is more for the same, energy shield plus evasion plus resistances to cap them. Rings should always be a main source of damage. Lightning damage affixes are perfect to add DPS to the build, plus they are not ridiculously expensive, paired with resistances to reach 75%. The amulet can vary a lot. I recommended one like this because it's safer and cheaper than what with all melee skills or crit. With this you can safely enjoy high tiers without overspending. The belt, pure resistances if possible and life, so you survive more. I recently changed boots to add movement speed. For me this was a game changer because movement speed lets you dodge faster and move faster. For gloves, Thunder Fist is a great option for this build, but if you don't have them, in the planner I left alternatives you can use while farming. Charms are key for survival. For me, these are the best since they cover the trickiest states causing the most deaths. Not having Chaos Rest capped hasn't caused problems. Capping other resistances plus evasion has been enough to map safely. It's also about moving well on the map and finding good attack positions, and which this build allows since we have both range and melee options. Alright my monks, I'll leave you with a tier 16 map so you can see the build in action. I completed maps with more mods and the build works amazing well. It's very versatile for farming. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want. This way, we reach more people worldwide and grow the RPG community. Any questions, let me know in the comments, and see you in Path of Exile.